I thought about having a square box in there or two.
She's big f***ing big.
This time next year, Rodney?
Yeah.
That's f***ing knackered. That looks better.
Yeah. So you can't come down anymore because the curve's good there. Wing could be bent. So you've got to get these right, because all those holes, old chrome, it's all chrome bars.
Okay, yeah, that bit's out. That's going to stand up like a sore thumb, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So when it comes to alignment, what's the best place to start? Where do you start?
On a car that's got fixed wings and it hasn't got add-ons like these, you'd start with your front. I start with the front door gap.
Okay.
Get that parallel and your roof gap parallel. Then see how you're sitting on your B post.
Yeah.
Then if it's a 2-door, it's a lot easier. If it's a 4-door, then you've got to put your back door on, get your door gap parallel on the B post, see where you end up on the C post.
So it's front to back?
Front to back, back to front, whichever way you want to do it. If they physically are too big and won't fit in the hole, then the car's bent, the door skin's been put on wrong, or, you know, there's lots of different connotations. But this, where everything moves, the bonnet moves because that's a part of the door gap, this will move, that will move because that's bolted to the door. So you've got to get the basic door in the holes the best you can and then try all the add-ons, which is proving to be a bit difficult. Right, so that tells me that isn't square. See how that's falling off?
Yeah.
So if that came up at the front just by that much, then you'll be parallel, yeah? So that won't allow us to go up because of that wing size there. So either that is too long. You can't really come down on that because that's got to be flush there, you know? That's a good line up there. It's fitting quite nicely. Either the wing's too short there, between that point and that point, or this is bent, which is more than likely. See, this might have been smacked before and I put this off another car. You just don't know what it is, you know? Right, so now let's check the bonnet again. The bonnet's, I know the bonnet's bent, because hence all the lead in the front of that where it's been hit. See, that nose cone's going like that. See, that says the wing wants to come up, but you can't. It won't physically go up. But I can add material there. Because you need to be flush there. See how the bonnet's bent? It's flush on that corner. It's dipping down in the middle there. Touch in there, see that'll just rub your paint straight off. So, but the bonnet is another entity altogether. We've just got to try and get his wing fitting first. So just giving that will give us a nice gap there. I can back the back off a little bit. Right, so I think what we've got to do is take this back off and work out what's going on with it. It's too long, isn't it? It's physically too big to go in the hole. We'll take that back off, possibly cut that bar, shrink it down a bit. So that should give us a nice gap now. There's nothing very delicate about panel beating, really.
Yeah.
Well, there is when you get into it, but. Wants to come up very slightly, but that's parallel now. We know that's moved, so we've got a bigger gap because it's moved here. So I can just slacken those off and push that up. It's parallel there. It's just balled up at the top. So, but like I say, it could be made out of all different cars. Yeah. You just haven't got a clue. But again, you can just cut your edge and weld it. It's not an issue. Do you know what I mean? You've got to go with this line here.
Definitely.
That's your main thing. So, be that fitting or not, that's got to be right there. So if you're not right there, it's just going to look shit. So that still wants to come up very slightly. You've probably got a little bit of leeway on some of the bolt holes on the chrome, but you want to get it right if you can, you know. Yeah, it's very hard to know where to begin. That's the issue, because you can jack the front of that wing, you can lower the front of that wing. It can be anywhere.
The second you move the wing, you affect the bonnet, which affects the other wing.
Oh, yeah. I think it might be easier just to cut the two straps that go in there on the bottom, because then we can push this in and out wherever we like. We'll bang that back up a little bit. When that's in there, it doesn't fit at all, which is just you can't have a gap there, no. So that's got to go. But we know we can get our height now, so now we'll start again. Sort of. Right, don't want any more pressure than that on it. Ooh, it stayed there. I didn't expect it to do that. So that's too high. Got to try these things, though.
So what's the plan, Stan?
Well, where I've bent that round to get the height on the parallel line,
yeah.
This has been crashed or something here. This isn't right. So what it's done is I've lowered that and it's put a rock on it like that.
Oh, okay.
So if we cut that, and we can just get it into where we want it, and then just tack it on the underneath. Right, that'll let that go where it wants to go now. Right, we're getting somewhere now. That was obviously just holding it all in the wrong place. Right, so that wants to come up at the back a bit. It's reasonably parallel, isn't it? Okay, right. So let's get him in there.
I thought about having a square box in there or two.
She's big f***ing big.
This time next year, Rodney?
Yeah. Let's put a tack on that to hold that. Right. If we take a blade's worth out of that bottom strap, hammer that up a bit, I think we'll be there then. We hope, but you've got to take it all off again. Right, so
the plan?
I want to take just about a blade's worth off of that, and we'll tack that back up. I want to hammer this edge up a bit, get that raised up a little bit, just to give us a little bit more on that corner. And then we'll try to put it back on again. Just need to hammer that up a little bit more there, and that'll be it. I'm going to lever it a bit. That can come out a little bit, that's all right in and out. Just get that on a shim washer. Got a nice gap there. That's got to come up a little bit more there. Just see that gap. See what you've got to remember, these were all black mainly.
Okay.
Black or dark colour. They didn't do many 40s ones in the light colours. So all these, what looks like a funny gap, will all be shaded.
Yeah.
You can't see it as such. I've got to come out a little bit on that, which is just my shim washer that was on the bar. that can tack from inside. Because what I'll do is I'll get these primered, flatted, and then I'll fit all of this shit so I know where it goes. Because you'll never ever put one of these together without scratching it. So you do it all with like the high build primer, flatted down, put it all together. If I've got to put a tack under there, I know I've got to put a tack under it. You line everything up, then you take the whole thing apart again and get it painted with all of this stuff on it. Then you do it all again. You rehang everything again, line everything up. So what you want to do is not adjust that. You want to take it off once you've done it from your door hinge bolts.
Yeah. Because
you've got very minimal movement on those compared to where that can go anywhere. So you know your doors fit in the holes. You just got to be. The trouble with them is it's not like a mini door. You pick them up with one hand, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's, you know, stupidly heavy.
So how do you stop? Well, now you've fixed that pretty much in place, apart from a few shim washers. How do you stop it?
You just lock everything up rock hard.
What do you mean when you say lock it up?
Well, I've only just put the nuts on. Then normally you put a flat washer, spring washer, and just tighten, crank everything down hard so it can't move. It's all coming nice and parallel.
Yeah, it looks good.
All I want to do is I'll go on the steels, the rubber people, because there's a rubber tread plate in there. That's what you step on to get in the car.
Yeah.
So I just want to see what thickness that is. If it'll go, which I think it probably will, then I can set up my inner sill brackets like I showed you earlier on those.
Yeah.
Because I weld to the back, just to give it strength. Otherwise, if that was just bolted to the sill, and you stood on it, it'd just bend the sill. All of those are chrome, all those holes.
Yeah.
That's chrome. That's a big strip of chrome. That's stripes of chrome. There's a big strip of chrome all the way around the car there. They're angled strips. And I think the spats have them all the way down there as well, and then there's chrome all the way around there. They look bonkers when they're together.
Nice.
Next week on The Workshop.